morning, fans of Compas on the Beat. Welcome to a very early edition of Compas on the Beat. You know we got you guys ready with everything going on with the 4 Compas show before noon. Look at that. The 4 Compas before noon. In this episode, we'll give you our takeaways from the Chargers-Rams preseason game that Fernando unfortunately had to be at. Plus, we get into the rookies that have been stealing the spotlight this preseason, and time permitted, we will do our burial of the week. And una más. Buenos dias, Gilberto. How are we doing today?
I was going to say, Fernando, is the sun barely rising in that room that you call, I guess, a workstation? It's very dark in there. The light's barely coming through the curtains there.
Yeah.
Like the sun's barely rising in your room.
Exactly. Huevitos con salchicha, the red, had our orange juice, ready to go.
My brother, though, he thinks I wake up around this time, 11:30 Pacific, so maybe it is morning for both of us.
Well, he just texted me. He goes, "Wow, Gilbert wet his hair to make it look like he's been up for a couple hours." So
splash water on my face, wake up, I'm ready, because he assigned us this freaking early ass show here for Compas, so it's his fault.
Yeah, exactly.
You get Fernando in the dark and me wetting my hair, so we're here.
Yeah, he has a very special day tomorrow, which obviously very excited for. But thank you guys to
that's why I have to be in bed. Mimi's early today.
Exactly. Well, he has practice and everything, and then exactly. So a big day for Dan. But thank you to everybody who is jumping in. If you guys are tuning in. Angel Gilberto just woke up. Damn, wake up, compa.
I've been up early, man. I write these stories on East Coast deadline, so they got me up early.
You don't have to justify yourself. We all know you work hard.
Myself to Dan, because he has 3 jobs and 1 salary.
We appreciate everybody for jumping on. No matter what time, we all know you work hard. No matter what time, and then you're a papa too. So I can't wait for your guys's He's going to be Dominic Mysterio. You're going to be Rey Mysterio. He's going to be like, old man, I'm better than you. I'm going to do this better than you can any day. So, but
we'll always be the better wrestler.
Exactly. But obviously, a lot going on in the world of sports. I was obviously there over the weekend, so we will get into all of that. Usually Gilbert and I kind of get this going, but the four of us, Vic, can you take this off real quick? This is going to be, but the 4 of us are going to jump on right now. We'll bring the other guys in. This is Gilbert and his son. I will not say names, but this is Gilbert and
between the father and son. He Dom looked like genuinely surprised, like, oh crap, my dad's here. Who I hate.
Yeah, exactly. So they were in Mexico City for AAA Mania, and Dom was about to win the AAA Mania World Heavyweight Championship. By the way, fans were really angry. They were booing El Hijo del Vikingo every time because they want Alberto Del Rio to be the champion.
I thought Dom was gonna call AJ Styles the Hijo de su. But he said,
I know. Yeah, he was talking about Hijo de Vikingo. Yeah. So Dom was about to pin him, and then AJ grabbed the referee before he could pin for the 3. He hit Dominic. Dominic still has an opportunity for the championship at World Collide in Las Vegas the night before Canelo versus Crawford. It'll be Dominic versus El Hijo del Vikingo. We'll see if he can get that championship. But all right, speaking of champions, let us bring in the workhorses of the Compas on the Beat, our other 2 teammates. Vic, how are you doing?
Doing good. Happy to be here. I did get to see probably the best match of the year, and it was on a AAA card instead of WWE, which kind of tells you where WWE is at right now.
It was on YouTube.
It was on
YouTube?
AAA?
Yeah. My bad.
The what was it called? The Triple Mania?
Yeah, Triple Mania.
I thought that whole card was awesome. I was watching all the highlights. I was like, why can't WWE do this?
Well, if you notice, they're starting to bring over the AAA wrestlers too. Yeah. Like last night, Mr. Iguana debuted on Monday Night Raw. So I think they're getting excited about all this, and they're bringing more guys. So we'll see how that goes. All right, our next guy.
No, you got to start with this crap.
Exactly. Pay some respect for the hoster, brother. But let me tell you something. While we're talking about power dynamics of him being the Mysterios, I can't wait to come in like Eddie Guerrero, just up in there and be like, "Yo soy tu papá."
No, don't insult the great Eddie Guerrero with that.
We'll fight a match for his custody.
Dude, he did
and
an
then I'll get him
interview. Ray did an
baptized.
interview where he's like, I should have just let Eddie keep him. Like, I was dying. I was like, that's so good.
That's pretty good.
All right, let us go. Let us start off here. Which rookie has been the biggest surprise so far during preseason? Dan, I already know where you're going
Exactly.
with your wide receiver, Keandre Lambert-Smith, I'm guessing.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, is that my part? Yeah.
Sure, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, you read
Yeah.
my mind.
Yeah.
You read my mind. Yeah, he's been making plays in camp. The one practice I went to, I mean, some, no, I'm not gonna describe him like that, but some, let's just say, interesting fellow. Reminds me of a numbers guy, and I'm not a big fan of those type of people. I was trying to think of his acronym, and he turns around while I was talking to my buddy, and he goes KLS or whatever the hell it is. I'm like, Jesus, man, take it easy. Take it easy, my guy. This guy's barely been here, and I got to remember 8 different acronyms. I know, and I was like, yeah, but he's been making plays in and out of camp. Obviously, Herbert, the son of Odin, god of lightning. Everybody hates on him, but that's all right because he's potentially with Madison Beer. Shout out. The Super Bowl's coming. I can't wait for my beer camera. I'm excited. I can't wait. But so yeah, it's gonna be good. I think the few times we've seen Omarion Hampton, he's looked good. So I'm pretty excited for that week 1. I just can't wait to get there. It's a great day to be alive. Here we are, brunch with the Compas. This is a time when Gilberto's barely starting to wake up and get his breakfast going. So this is great. Maybe he's got some French toast under the camera over there. Who knows?
Vic,
real quick, did anybody know who Madison Beer was before yesterday? Because I had no clue who she was.
I knew. I've heard of her, but I always just thought, wow, that chick's fire. That's the only thing I knew about her. Like, I thought she was some tic-tacker or whatever.
Now she's your first lady.
Supposedly she does chess, and I'm like, hey, brains and beauty. I like it. Hey, I'll take either or.
Chess or chest?
Yeah, I'm in either or club. That's what I'll tell you right there.
Vic, why don't you give us a rookie that you've been impressed with?
Trevion Henderson, the running back from the Patriots.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, he's returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and he's looked really good. I'm kind of wondering why the Bears didn't select him instead of going with the Burton, but the receiver is doing good there with the Bears. But I thought he would have been perfect in that Bears scheme, but good for the Patriots for drafting him. I thought either one of the Ohio State running backs would be good. One of them got in trouble, and then this one's kind of benefiting from being with the Patriots and not having a lot of competition. I know a lot of people are starting to do they've already done their NFL fantasy drafts, and so he's somebody that's shooting up the boards as of yesterday. I think I saw him. He's been going in the 5th or 6th round, so he's been someone that I kind of been impressed with. He kind of came out of nowhere because I didn't think he was gonna do much, to be honest.
By the way, did you guys already have your fantasy draft or no?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was invited to something. I can't do it. The day I realized this is not for me.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow, is that a board? The day I realized this is not for me was when I was rooting for Travis Kelce on a Thursday night game for my fantasy game. I'm like, I'm never doing this ever again. He was playing the Chargers. I was like, I can't do it.
There you go. Bonjour.
There you go. Our Canadian brother checking in early, which, by the way, Matt, we'll get to your comment later. That'll probably be my burial, but exactly. The beer army's here, baby. Modelo.
I'm gonna go Jaxson Dart. I've been very impressed with Jaxson Dart. What?
No, he's angry that you picked him. Why don't you do what Gilberto does and pick 3 different people also? That way you can really take them off.
Apparently, when I go last on the show, I should have 4 ready just in case.
Oh my God! Okay, then I'll choose somebody.
I'm probably the most predictable one. Don't worry, I'm the most predictable one. I got my goggles on, as Eric says.
People hate on. I'll go with Tyler Shucks when you're done.
Okay. Well, I've been impressed with Jaxson Dart. I think obviously it's not enough to be like, well, he should be the starter because I still think he needs some time. I think we're in the what have you done for me lately era where people just want like get him in there. Let's start throwing him in there. And I think Jaxson is going to benefit from sitting a little bit behind maybe Russ. And again, I know Russ is a weird guy, but I'm sure if I'm sure if he sits there and kind of analyzes and watches and listens to the way Russ is running things, maybe he could be like, you know what, this is a good learning opportunity for me. We're also in a generation where the kids don't want to learn, they don't want to listen. They think they invented the sport. But there's a lot that Jaxson needs to do. I mean, we all remember the video of him with John Gruden, where, by the way, won his case. John Gruden, he goes, "What's your snap?"
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
He's like, so,
what's your hard count?
Exactly. So he's gonna need to learn. He's gonna need to sit there, and I think he's gonna benefit from it. Now, if the Giants are really listening to calls about Jameis Winston, and that's great. I think that's smart. You have Jaxson as your number 2. You kind of have him sit there. You don't need 2 goofballs in the quarterback room, if we're being completely honest. Because Vic, Dan, and I saw Jameis in New Orleans. He's a media member now who happens to play football. He's more media than he is anything else.
Really weird. Yeah.
So I think that they need to get one of them out of there. You keep Russ. The kid learns. He sees. Now, and on the way down from Chargers and Rams, I was talking to Eric, and I was like, did you guys know that Russ was going to be that good? He's like, look, there was a preseason, there was training camp where he was just lighting one day they threw him against LOB, and he was just lighting guys up. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay, maybe this is real. And slowly but surely, you started seeing how quirky and dorky he was. But at the same time, you saw the game was there. So obviously he knows the game. He understands it now. He's at the point now where I think his body doesn't react as quickly as his mind sees things. So, but again, I think Jaxson could really benefit from sitting there and learning from Russell Wilson. Learn the good stuff. Don't learn the dorky, nerdy stuff that they do. But
his brain doesn't work as well either. Over here, running and sliding.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he got a positive thing today, or the Giants got positive news today with left tackle Andrew Thomas being moved from the PUP list, and it looks like he's going to be ready to go. So that's going to be a huge benefit. But Gilbert.
Yeah, just to add to your point, I do like that Dave was saying, you know what, it's still Russell Wilson, because you look at the schedule, they play the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and week 5, that's when Dart's coming out. Week 5 against the New Orleans Saints. I think it's probably the right approach.
Dan.
Whoa. And then, are you trying to say that defense is going to be easier to pick apart? Are you trying to slander over here?
No, I said Saints.
Has the poor man not gone through enough? My goodness.
Before I talk about the Saints.
The memes.
Anyways, Russell Wilson did have a nice moonball, 80 yards, by the way. And if you notice, Russell Wilson, he starts out hot, Pittsburgh, Denver, the second year in Denver. And then he just gets stagnant and just forgets how to play football. That's going to happen in week 5 with Dart. But and then to Victor's point, Mike Vrabel loves power football, and we all remember Derrick Henry. For him to go with an explosive player like Travion Henderson, that tells you how explosive the guy is, and he's showing it in the preseason. So to me, I think the arrow is pointing up for him. Now with Tyler Shough, I'm glad that I got him now, forcefully, because in a way it could be my berry of the week since we don't have much time today. I hate all the freaking preseason takes, and the analysis around Tyler Shough is the reason why. Yeah, he had a terrible trip, and he fell, and the Jaguars got the sack on him. Doesn't mean he's going to be a bust. It doesn't mean that, oh, no, the Saints screwed up with not getting Shedeur Sanders or Jalen Milroe or whatever, and they drafted this guy. And, part of me feels bad. He's going to have that narrative always because they passed on his quarterbacks. So, yeah, Shedeur Sanders is good and all, but he went in the 5th round for a reason. Maybe it could be better than Sanders. I don't know. The point is everything is too soon. And the way I want to focus on preseason analysis, because I do, have to make a living making overreactions every now and then, I want to focus on the flashes. And I think Tyler Shough had a nice ball where he threw to the tight end 28 yards where, it was still in traffic, but the ball placement was perfect. He just threw it where the guy could make a play. It was behind the defender's head, so he couldn't, turn to make an interception. Stuff like that matters. The small details to me. So he has a strong arm. He seems like he's a tough guy. He's gonna have probably a crappy year, take a bunch of hits. But why are we making Spencer Rattler a thing? He had a shot last year. He wasn't good at all, and then he hasn't ran away with the job either. So if I'm Kellen Moore, I spent the 2nd round pick on Tyler Shough. What are we doing here? Stop wasting time and go with him.
Yeah,
I agree with the overreaction of preseason because on Saturday, and we can go now jumping over into the Chargers Rams talk, but like obviously Stenson Bennett had a good opening drive, and everybody like in the room was like, "Oh wow, maybe this like defense isn't really that good." And I'm like, are we not seeing the same thing? They're playing vanilla defense. Like he didn't dial anything up. He was in nickel the whole time, and they had 2 down linemen. So obviously they were running the ball consistently on that. I'm kind of like, and then everybody's like, oh yeah, the Chargers defense didn't look good. Some people were like, oh, the Rams defense didn't look good. I'm like, it's preseason. Like, what year are we in? Like, and that's why I hate preseason games, and that's why I hate going to preseason games, because then people start saying, well, maybe Stenson Bennett's actually better than what. No, he's not. Like, he's not that good. So it just,
I'll just say that, but he's not. He's not a starter, that's for sure. But maybe
no,
he's better
but,
than Jimmy G.
But that's the thing, is that preseason, I think a lot of times, and Gilbert, you've been around it, where you know that fans fall in love with a certain player. That certain player ends up getting cut, and fans are like, well, what the hell? Why did he get cut? He goes to another team, he doesn't do anything, and then they're like, oh, well, maybe he wasn't that good. Well, yeah, that's the thing, is that people don't understand that that players are going to look good until it's time for until the team doesn't think, oh yeah, he did this wrong or he does that wrong. Like, there's certain players that flinch before the play starts. Like, there was a receiver I remember 2 years ago that he would flinch off the line, and fans loved him. Some little white receiver. It wasn't Michael Bandy, it was somebody else. And he always flinched before the ball was snapped, or he kind of tipped off that he was getting the ball on the play because he would do something. And he got cut like a week before preseason was over. Everybody's like, well, why did he get cut? Well, he does stupid stuff like that. So it just, and I think what they need to do, we're going to 18 games. There's probably going to be a lockout because players are going to say, well, we deserve more money if we're doing more games.
Oh, I want to talk about that, Fernando, when we get to the stuff. Yeah.
No, it wasn't T-Billy.
Yeah. I want to talk about that, though, the whole 18 game season, because I was listening to Albert Breer and Connor Orr the other day on their podcast. And when we get to the derailed Revis NFLPA stuff, I want to talk about that, because there's something interesting that I want to get into, that it was a little nugget that Albert Breer brought up, and I hadn't really thought about, but I want to say that.
No, you're good. No, I'm not going to do that. I think for that, it should be 1 preseason game or 2, and everything else should be joint practices. I think players get more when it's a joint practice. Look, Herbert came out and said, I need to see, and again, we're in this preseason thing. Herbert said, I need to see a defense. Why? He's never played in preseason. And I think he thought to himself, maybe I need to change it up. Maybe I need to see, because usually the Chargers offense, for whatever reason, has started off slow in years past. Maybe it's, last year it was because of Herbert, it was Herbert's foot, the new offense, all his weapons, that old reliables were all gone. He had Lad McConkey and a bunch of other receivers. So again, to cut this rant short, in a sense, I think Herbert said, I need to see a live defense, and that's why he decided to play. And I think that's the thing. If teams had more joint practices and less preseason games, the NFL doesn't make money off of it. So I get it. That's why they don't want it. But I feel like a joint practice would be way better for teams moving forward than actually having preseason games, because we all know, and we've talked to coaches before where they tell you, by the second preseason game, we already know who's making the team and who's not. Everything else is just for, well, they don't say it's for a money grab or nostalgia, but I think that's kind of how that goes. But that's just
so they can put out more tape on there too. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, this game, Herbert had that one pass that, well, the cornerback tipped it. Quentin got hurt on it. So obviously that's rough. But I thought Herbert had a really nice pass to KLS in the corner. Even he said, I was a little surprised with how hot that thing was coming out. Him and Ladd connected for a 17-yard, where nobody was around Ladd. I was really surprised. But again, it's like the Rams, third team or whatever. But again, I thought it was good for them to see a defense. I know Herbert wanted to see one before seeing one in Brazil when it's Kansas City. So But yeah, there
I
wasn't
do like
much
your
to-
idea of more joint practices, by the way.
I think
I
that's
do like
better.
your idea about that. Yeah.
I mean, I know why the Chargers canceled it. Again, I have a conspiracy theory, but obviously the real one is that they're all hurt. Their team was hurt, but most of their guys dressed on Saturday. So, but yeah, I just I kind of think that they should do more joint practices with different teams. And again, I think in a couple of years they're going to reseed the divisions. By the way, I think it's going to be Seahawks, 49ers, Rams, and Chargers in one, or the Cardinals, something like that. Like they're going to redivision everything.
Oh,
and
do it
they're
by logistics, like what's
'cause
closer.
MLB's been talking about it. I think the NFL is going to start doing that.
Well, I always thought that was kind
Um,
of stupid anyway. You go all the way to Missouri. Denver, I guess, isn't like crazy far. And then
Yeah,
who's
but
the
these
other?
are
Well, I guess,
rivalries. There's history there.
No,
Yeah,
I
I think
agree,
that's
but
good.
a
that's
couple
why I
years
don't think they do it.
the Seahawks used to be in the division, and then all of a sudden they kind of cut it. I mean, it'd probably be Rams, Chargers, Seahawks, or Rams, Chargers, Cardinals, Raiders. That'd probably be the four right.
I think
there.
it's
But
fine right now.
whatever. No, I agree, but I'm just saying. I think in a couple of years we could see something.
I wouldn't doubt that the players would complain about how many miles and all this.
Like
stuff,
that's
and
why I
the-
think it's crazy that the Rams are traveling to Cleveland for a preseason game. Why? Like that's on. Like you're already a West Coast team. Why are you going on a 4.5 hour
Yeah,
flight
that sucks, yeah.
to go and putting your team through that? So,
Yeah,
oh my God,
against
Jorge,
the
you guys are
13
terrible.
for the Rams.
But my bad. If Vic, if you have any thoughts on the game,
No,
that one
I
that
kind of
Cleveland,
felt bad.
Like,
Why?
nobody's not telling me about 15.
Yeah.
He is like he's good. The
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, Kanata Munfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I mean, in terms of the Rams, you know, there's not a lot of tape you can really take away from here. Like I know we'll have House of Horns in a couple of days, and we'll talk tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. But in terms of the Rams, I think everybody's just waiting to see what happens with Matthew Stafford, and the fact that he practiced yesterday and now today, that's a big improvement. I mean, it was the first time we've seen him in training camp, so that's good. In terms of some of the players on the field, you can, outside of the backups, I know that a lot of people are talking about the backup linebacker that really stood out. I think his name is Dolak. But outside of that, there's not a big takeaway from these games. As you said, like I kind of felt bad for Fernando having to be there for 4+ hours, and I'm like, by the second quarter, I was done with this game. I'm like,
I thought the game was going to be over at 6:30, but the Quentin Johnston injury delayed us for 30 minutes.
And
Yeah,
before I move
I have
on,
a take from that game that actually, I'm sorry, Vic.
Let me just do this because I want to make sure we get Gerardo's question on here. He's like, how worried? Because I don't know this, and I've been wanting to ask you guys, how worried should us Chargers fans be with Becton not practicing this past 3 weeks?
I don't think they should be that worried. I think as soon as Rashawn Slater went down, everything kind of went code red. And I'll tell you one thing: I think the Chargers are going to be very, very active in the window before, cut down day and everything. I think they're going to go look for offensive linemen because behind their starting five, all the offensive linemen have kind of been terrible. But I think if he's not there against Kansas City, then obviously you're going to have to be worried. But as of right now, I just. You see him practice. He's working out on the side. He's doing things. So I wouldn't be super worried. But I mean, I guess anytime guys miss, that is worrisome. But him with his size and everything, I mean, he is going to need a little bit of a break. But Gilbert, go ahead with what you thought.
Here's one positive preseason, I guess, analysis that people should like focus more on. And every year when people are looking at the rosters, they focus on the names and the old washed up players and they freak out. Oh, there's not enough talent at this position. And I'm like, it's football. There's young talent that comes in every year that, I'll say this. I'm guilty of this because I expect too much of like the first, second year players to blow up, and that screws me in fantasy football. But from the most part, that usually happens in the NFL. And the Chargers receiving room took a hit this offseason. Oh, what are you doing here? Why aren't you drafting a wide receiver in the first round? Why aren't you spending money for T. Higgins? Oh, no, Mike Williams retired. We need Keenan Allen. And to me, it's like, are you going to give Trey Harris a chance to prove himself? He was a second-round pick. Last year, the second-round pick, like McConkey, did something. And also, McConkey is not just some nobody. Dan thinks he is sometimes. Oh, he's a bag boy or whatever from Kmart.
Whoa.
When have I ever said that about McConkey? Don't start
You
trying
said
to put words in
Herbert
my
has
mouth
nobody to
now.
play with. Anyways, you're leading that narrative, by the way, Dan.
Are you
McConkey
serious?
is
Did
a
I?
stud.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Did you see anybody in that group from last season?
The point is, they have.
Okay,
You're not allowing
gotcha.
the young playmakers to do something, and like another gem. I think KLS could probably be a legit player. Move on with Quentin Johnson. Sometimes you got to cut your losses. He's not going to be the guy. He's a first round pick. I get it, but from a different GM, from a different coaching staff. So all of a sudden, you got KLS, you got Trey Harris, you got Ladd McConkey, and Keenan Allen, who I think Keenan Allen, to me, I kind of don't worry about. He's good for the veteran experience to help out the locker room, but you don't want him eating snaps to the young players. Like I want to see Trey Harris get some of those snaps. I want to see McConkey do his thing. I want to see KLS to an extent. He's still a 5th round pick, but for depth, for injuries, Keenan Allen's going to help. But to me, everything is fine with Keenan Allen back on the field. You were fine before that. Trey Harris was a 2nd round pick. Omarion Hampton could catch out of the back. So to me, now that KLS and Trey Harris are doing stuff in the preseason, people are like, "Oh, look at us! We got a lot of playmakers now." And I'm like, "What really changed? It's just they're showing it on the field now, and people don't really expect because if you don't have a name or track record, people freak out about that. So that's the one thing I think we should focus on more."
The problem is that people hadn't seen it in the first 2 preseason games, so everybody was freaking out with Trey Harris. So people were freaking out, but I'm like, why are you freaking out? Justin Herbert's not the quarterback. Like Taylor Heineke has been really bad. Trey Lance at least has had moments, but even he, arm-wise, hasn't really done much. I mean, that throw to Trey Harris was pretty good, but neither one of those guys has really done much during preseason. And I think Trey has done more with his legs. He's shown his athleticism, great, but as a backup quarterback, you're going to need somebody.
People are like, "Oh, I've never seen this guy, so this position is screwed."
That's obvious.
The draft process, like this regime was great in the draft last year. How many starters came out of the draft, Fernando?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be patient instead of like,
4.
go get that guy. And I'm like, these guys that come in, they just take snaps from the younger guys. Like why do people want to see
I understand what you're saying in terms of Keenan Allen, in my opinion, I thought it was a great signing, and I'll tell you why. By the way, sorry to everybody on What's Up Bolts. I've been super busy. I got a new job, how to set up the classroom, so I haven't been able really to do any of this stuff. But it's great because who's your veteran leader in that room? Ladd, it's barely his 2nd year. Quentin, I mean, we kind of see what's going on there. I mean, I'm not going to say too much. I'm not trying to character assassinate up in this.
Forget about that guy. Just move on.
But on top of that, the beauty of it is you don't have to use Keenan Allen every single time. Like that's the beauty of it. If these kids emerge,
eating into the snaps of Ladd McConkey.
I'm sorry. Was it Hilberto's time? Did I hit the switch? Did Hilberto's light come on?
For experience, is fine. And it's like you got to give Williams. What does he do? He retires. Like guys get old real quick, and people expect them to be the same dude. That's why you never go back to the X in the NFL. It rarely works.
And I get that. But what I'm saying is it's good because I thought the whole theory, and this is where I think, I'm not going to name names because I'm not trying to burn bridges, but I thought some of these people were stupid who were like, if Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, they play the same position and like if you're a smart playmaker or if you're a smart play caller, you know your personnel. It doesn't matter. You put them outside, inside, you know where to put them to try and get them open. And on top of that, what Keenan Allen represents is a safety valve on 3rd down for Justin Herbert anyway. They have so much chemistry that it's like that's what he needed. Obviously, sometimes late in games or things like that, Keenan Allen's a veteran. He knows how to get open. He knows defenses. And again,
though, you're focusing too much on the past.
No one's focusing on the past. All I'm saying is he's a good option to have because okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're putting it. There's no difference in my mind when you try and throw in rookies, no matter the position. It's a lot to ask of a 22-year-old to be a starting receiver in the NFL. I'm sorry. I don't care what people say. It is at any position a lot to ask of them because you go from college where it's a little bit, I'm not going to say watered down or gimmicky because they have to win now. But like the NFL, it's like you're getting promoted to pre-calculus or calculus AB or whatever else. Like you need that type of guy in there so the receivers can vibe with them. More importantly, so they can learn from them. And it adds a perfect depth piece because again, like I think this is the perfect situation now where if these guys are emerging, well then and Quentin's not developing or doing what he needs to do, his reps are going to diminish, you would think. Same with Keenan, but like again, everybody thinks Keenan's going to be an every down receiver. Like he's not, like in my opinion, he's not going to be an every down receiver. Now you can use him in specialty packages, in certain areas with, you know, what he's good at, certain plays to get him open and get the ball out quick. You don't need him to be an every down 12 to 15 catch a game guy. And the most important part, in my opinion, again, he's kind of taking care of his body and some, I mean, I didn't see much of him with the Bears, but at least with the Chargers towards the back end before he got traded, he was taking care of his body in the sense of catching the ball, running as much as he could and kind of going down easy. That way he's not taking these ridiculous shots or anything like that.
He learned from the best.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, Antonio Gates, shout out to him, Hall of Famer. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see it as a negative, whereas people were like, he plays the same position. He plays the same position.
Don't make him the impact player that he was 2 years ago.
He's not. I don't think that's what he's going to be, because really, realistically, the Chargers are gonna want to run the football a majority of the time anyway. You expect Keenan Allen really to get in there and mix it between the tackles? You know what I mean? Like,
summarizes the whole point is that people have narratives like, when they had Mike Williams, people thought, there goes that's your ex receiver. No, it's going to be Trey Harris. Like, I'm sure this regime knows all along it's going to be Trey Harris, but just in case we need more depth, and just in case we need somebody experienced, here's Mike Williams.
Mike was going to be a red zone. Mike was going to be a red zone,
but Keenan Allen's going to be available just in case. That's just the way I see it.
By the way, that's what I'm saying. I love how. Excuse me, sir. He's. I feel like I'm in a debate now. He called my name out. I get to respond.
He hasn't said anything against you.
It's no different. It's no different in my mind than them signing or having. Shut up. Them having Najee Harris. I mean, besides before he blew himself up, but like
that's a guy.
He was there as a depth piece. Right? He was there as a depth piece, but I mean, we'll see. Yeah, exactly.
No, and it's funny because Ladd last week was like, I don't get why everybody thinks I'm just a slot guy, and I pulled a D'Angelo Russell, and I'm like,
exactly.
Everybody knows why they think that you're a slot guy, but no, that was a good. That's a good.
Or hey, he would never get me crossing my tongues and all that. I just have my glasses where I can't see, and my eyes and my mind are everywhere.
All right. Let us go over to some storylines, obviously. Vic, can you take this?
I got a storyline. I got a storyline.
What? Hold on. Where is it? I got it. Hold on. I got it. No. I got it. Yes, I got it. Okay. This is why Shane Steichen was asked about why is Danny Dimes the starter over Anthony Richardson, and he basically
cue the Hilberto snore.
With Daniel, when his record isn't good, and the last time we saw him play football for the Giants, it wasn't good.
Well, I think that he's proven that he's playing good football in the 2022 season.
One season.
That year, I think that was the highest completion rate in Giants franchise history that season. So he's proven to do it. I know he's had his ups and downs, but everyone's journey is different, and feel confident in his abilities.
Okay, let us start off with Vic, because Vic almost got no time to talk in the last one. Vic, are you confident in Danny Dimes' abilities, or is this the Colts are going to be choosing top 5 in the draft?
I mean, what did I say, you guys? Where there was a graphic that was going around where the Colts are already eliminated.
That's hilarious.
I saw this this tweet. Let me just get to it real quick. I won't take too much time here. Here we go. Among 34 qualifying quarterbacks over the past 2 seasons, Daniel Jones ranks 34th in EPA per pass play out of 34. So he's been the worst quarterback the last 2 years. And this is who you're gonna, name a starter. And I understand Gilbert's been, he was big on Anthony Richardson, but
big
time.
Is
a player your staff drafted, and you're going with a guy who was ranked 34th out of 34 quarterbacks the past 2 years. I'm sorry, it's just I don't understand this move at all. Part of the reason you brought him in was to give Anthony Richardson competition, at least give Anthony Richardson a chance here. You didn't even give him a chance, and now you're just naming like this isn't a rookie that you're going with in Anthony Richardson. This is a guy who's already been in the league a couple of years. It's not one of those things where you're gonna lose a locker room. And I've already. I'll give you guys a kind of something that we're gonna talk about for the carne asada. A coach that's gonna be on the hot seat for me. It's Steichen, and he's a great coach. He's a great offensive coordinator, but he's going down that path where you have a new ownership here too. They're not attached to him, so I wouldn't be surprised if Steichen is the one that ends up getting, the blame here instead of the GM who's been there forever. Like this is the GM should take most of the criticism here, but it's going to be on Steichen, which I feel bad about.
If we're being honest, though, like Gilbert, I mean, you and I both know him. To me, Anthony Richardson isn't a Steichen. Like, it feels like that was a move that, if I'm being honest, I don't think Steichen would have made. Just because he doesn't seem. I think he came in. He wasn't the starter when he came into the season at Florida. It was somebody else. Then that guy got hurt. Then Anthony went in.
It was trash.
Yeah, he showed some flashes. And that's what everybody went off on. Same thing as the dude on the Trey Lance. Same thing as Trey Lance, where he showed flashes and people got really excited about what he could be, but they forgot that he didn't get that much experience. That's why the Mannings they are talking about 24 games. Play at least 24 games of college football so you can get so you can see what you have. You can play. You can see different defenses, all that. That's why they harp on that. And some GMs just completely decide, oh no, that was good enough. He's done really well. Let's draft him. So I agree with it. I think either way you were going to lose in this sense, to be honest, with whichever quarterback. But I did see a tweet from one of the guys that one guy from ESPN that said, what did he say? He said basically Richardson is younger than Shador, Will Howard, Dylan Gabriel, Shuck, Caleb, Bo Nix, and Penix. And the Colts just gave up. I don't think it's giving up. No. I just think maybe this is a Bryce Young kind of move, maybe where they make him sit on the bench, make him watch, make him see. And then Well, yeah,
I think really the problem is twofold. I think that's probably how bad Richardson has been in camp. I'm sorry, I saw my window and I'm going to take it. No, I think that's how bad he's been in camp, where they're like, we can't start this guy. And on top of that, what people understand, Vic's very right. He's going to be on the hot seat, new ownership and everything else. So what is he thinking to himself? Well, here's a guy that, what's his name? Oh, wait, no, he wasn't with the Vikings. Where was Danny Jones? Where was Danny Dimes with last year?
He went to the Vikings. He got traded last year. It was the Vikings before he got cut.
He got released, right?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I confused him with Sam Darnold for a minute. But anyway, I completely forgot it was Sam Darnold who started. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, I think what he's trying to bank on is, you know what? Kevin O'Connell was able to do something with a vet who's been rejected and everything else. I need to win some games now, and I don't really have time to teach. And I think that's why he's like, well, Danny Dimes is going to be our guy. He's athletic. He can throw the ball. I mean, who knows how well he's going to play in his scheme, but I think that's what he's thinking more than anything. I think it's very true, and I mean, everybody brace for impact because I'm going to give Gilberto a compliment. It's very true what he says in the sense that sometimes these franchises need a reset to get off the mediocre train. And that's when you try and do quick fixes like this with vets, you just stay on the train. I mean, we've already seen it with the Steelers. We've already seen it with some of these teams where they get these vets, but it doesn't pan out the way they want. And then we're just still stuck at 9-8 or top or bottom, or I guess top 15 of the draft or whatever it is. So, I think really that's the problem. He knows he's coaching for his job, and he's trying to do it as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Gilbert?
You know what's the irony with that is like trying to avoid the mediocre train, but then when you're a coach on the hot seat, you think I need wins, so you go for the mediocre, safer option. But then you still get 8 or 9 wins, and you miss the playoffs, you're fired. So it's like, might as well just go with the guy with a little more upside. I'm not going to defend Anthony Richardson. I'm more with Vic on this one. They're both bad options. Richardson has not earned it. He hasn't worked hard. No. He got benched last year, and that didn't put a fire under his ass like it did Bryce Young. The helmet tag, I could keep going on and on. The bad reading of the blitz last week. There's too much garbage, Richardson. But like you spent the number 4 pick on the guy. You're gonna go down with the ship regardless. Maybe like if you want a better job or another opportunity, Shane Steichen, if you're able to make Richardson decent, like honestly, maybe the daughters of Jim Irsay are saying, you know what, he actually looked decent last year. Maybe keep Steichen around. Maybe that's a better way than focusing on wins. And I know when you have a veteran locker room, you're gonna go with like, all right, do you care about us? Do you care about the wins? Do you care about your job? So it's a very tricky thing. So I don't want to, put a lot of criticism on Shane Steichen for what he's doing. But to me, like honestly, he could go a long way if he's able to make Richardson decent. He needs to play, but he hasn't earned it. So if you're a coach that says, you know what, if you haven't work your butt off, if you haven't put in the effort, you haven't put in the time, I don't care. I don't even care about my job. I'm putting the guy who's working harder. And if it has to be Daniel Jones, and it's Daniel Jones. But he's just kind of in a crappy situation, and we should point the blame more at Ballard. Why didn't you get a better option for Richardson, Chris Ballard? You've been there freaking 10 years. Well, he's on a different, I'm not going to name names, but he has a long leash like another GM that we know of. At some point, that's it. So if they can't get to the playoffs, they're going to be fired regardless.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And anything else, Vic? Last
No, I mean what sucks here too, if you look at the roster, like they finally got rid of Gus Bradley and they brought in Lou Anarumo. So at least, I'm high on their defense. And then you have a rookie, I think it's either a rookie or a second year center. So like I understand why they're going with Danny Dimes, because you don't want to get Anthony Richardson killed when you have an interior offensive line that's young. And so I understand that in that situation. But man, when you look at the weapons they have all around, you brought in Tyler Warren, you got Downs, you have Pittman Jr. So you have a really good roster. This is where having like if I'm the Colts, go trade for McKee from the Eagles, or maybe even a Tyson Bagent from the Bears. Like, go get yourselves at least somebody that's a lot better than these guys that you're going to put out there, because you actually have a roster that can win this year, and it just sucks that you're stuck in mediocrity with those quarterbacks.
McKee getting a lot of love. I don't know. I don't see it, but okay.
Who?
Tanner McKee.
Yeah,
McKee, the guy from the Eagles.
Yeah.
All right,
dude who played pretty well at the end last year.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another guy that just another old head that is won a starting job. The Browns have and Kevin Stefanski. I think everybody saw this coming. Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback
from the past.
Gilbert, why don't you get us started? Your thoughts on Joe Flacco as the starting quarterback?
Yeah, and this mediocre move, I'm okay with, because. And also Stefanski's also fighting for his job too. And
really,
I think so. Like it's he's been there a good while.
I think he wants to get fired.
Maybe he doesn't want to get fired, but he did resign he signed a new contract.
They don't want to let him go.
He's a very good, offensive mind, and but the thing with this, and I'll put it this way, and I know it's not that simple, but Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders they're impressive. They were decent, and they looked the part of like a day 2 draft pick. I'm not saying a franchise quarterback. I'm not saying a starter. But Dylan Gabriel, people called it a reach pick, 3rd round pick. When I watched him play, I can see 3rd rounder. Shadur, probably not a 5th rounder, maybe more of a 2nd or 3rd round pick. I get that, but the point is, neither guy looks ready to start now. Like Jaxson Dart, when you watch his 2 preseason games, he seems like a guy who could play now. Like if you throw him in the fire, I think he'll be fine. He'll kind of maybe perform like Drake May, where the wins weren't there, but you can see the flashes. Like with Dart, he just seems like he's he's aggressive enough, confident, but also not reckless. Again, it's preseason, so maybe I don't want to get carried away. But he just looks like he's in a better position, developmental wise, than those 2 guys. So when you're behind, as Gabriel and Sanders are, and then you got Kenny Pickett, who can't even get on the field, like you kind of had to go with Joe Flacco. He was your only answer. And put it this way, the Browns they're not gonna do crap. Like they're gonna get opportunities to play Gabriel and Sanders. It's gonna be week 7. We're gonna talk about Shadur Sanders' debut, and we're gonna have a whole show about it here. Dylan Gabriel make his debut week 5, get hurt because he's a smaller dude. Like I'm writing the script here for the Browns, and Flacco's gonna get old. His back's gonna hurt by week 4. It's gonna be a long year for Cleveland, but Flacco is the way to go to start.
But Myles Garrett wanted an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. That's why he re-signed with the Browns.
$40 million.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Because that's what he said. Okay.
Oh, trust me, I heard that shit for
By the-
17 years. I don't even want to hear about
By the
that.
way, everybody's acting like Seth Rollins was the only person that used the Rich Eisen show to get himself like a championship or to throw everybody off. Myles Garrett did the exact same thing during the Super Bowl. That's the first person he talked to, and that's where he announced he won. Like that was the first network that he talked to and telling them, "Yeah, I want to trade. I'm out."
Yeah.
I agree with everything that you just said. Flacco's a safer choice. I think if Shador and Dylan Gabriel are smart, they'd listen to Flacco. They'd try and pick his brain. Joe Flacco, we all know. I know people think that he's a little overrated. I think Flacco is one of the better talents that we've seen. That Super Bowl run that he had was just immaculate. I remember he was on one, him, Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith, Dennis Pitta, like they had a squad. And Flacco, I think,
is like a non-superstar at quarterback, right? Like in the
and like, and then remember, he had like
touchdowns, no picks,
exactly over like 4 or 5 playoffs.
He has a record for most road victories.
Yeah. And then he eliminated Peyton Manning in the divisional, eliminated Tom Brady to go to the Super Bowl. So yeah, they definitely he definitely is one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen. Throws the ball hard. I'm surprised he's still out there, but I mean, I guess they think he can still ball. I agree with everything that Gilbert said on, I think Shador is going to get a start. I think at one point fans are going to start doing the Tebow thing. Shador. We want Shador. Let's get Shador.
And Dylan's going to be, I was a second rounder. What are we doing?
They're going to be, they're only going to have a competitor. They're only going to have one win, and they're still going to move it to like a primetime game because everybody's going to want to watch Shador, and they're going to move it. They're going to move it into a primetime game. It's going to rate
against the Cowboys. Crazy. That way they could get all the headlines.
There you go. So, again, I think that Shador's shown some stuff. I think he's shown, like I told you guys after the preseason first one, where he thought I cannot run defensive linemen. They're fat guys, but those fat guys can move almost as good as you can. Like I'm sure people see Vita Vea and they're like, he's not athletic, and then they see him on the field and like, oh shit. Dylan Gabriel had some mistakes in his first game as well. Kenny Pickett, I feel like he's going to be the guy that's moved. But again, I just don't see the Browns wasting 4 roster spots on quarterbacks unless they really are just like, oh, you know what? Really? Well, if they do, then that must mean that they really think, okay, yeah, this is. But I think their defense is going to be a lot better. I think Mason Graham is going to add a lot to that defensive line with Myles Garrett. I think their defensive line is going to be incredible. I think their defense is still going to be strong. They're just gonna, if they're going to win games, it's going to be like 6-0 or stuff like that. Like I just don't see them lighting up the scoreboard. But again, weirder things have happened. I know Judkins is we're still waiting to hear on what's going to happen with him.
Last I saw was that they're not going to sign him until they know the NFL says something. Yeah.
Well, they just signed Isaiah Bond, the receiver.
Meanwhile, they'll sign that guy, but also
trouble. Well, but he was like a first round talent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. And by the way, I saw his video from this morning. It just sounded so scripted. Like he just followed a script and you could tell he rehearsed what he had to say. But again, we'll see. I think that Flacco and I think Flacco's the right move to go to right now. I think if you're really bad at one point, you just say, okay, let's just sell jersey. Like in the movie, like we've all seen Rookie of the Year, the Angels in the outfield. We all know they want to sell tickets. So what do?
Yep.
They put something in there to kind of get everybody going and get everybody excited. So the only problem is going to be if Shador comes in, lights it up, and they win the game, then it's going to be hard to go.
You might have the Tebow effect, like you said.
Exactly. Let's go, Dan. Any thoughts on the Joe Flacco?
Just real quick, I think this is the right move. Let him kind of sit and learn. I would say Stefanski isn't on the hot seat just because I don't think he's had much to work with from what I remember, and he's kind of kept them a little bit competitive and everything else. So I wouldn't put him on the hot seat, but I think this is the right move. The only thing is going to be you need to try and play to the Joe Flacco of today and not think of the Joe Flacco from 2013 and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So you better have a run game, good protection, and hopefully these receivers can get open pretty quick. So
I would love
it's the right move
Stefanski with Herbert at quarterback. I'd be interested to see what
was the OC.
kind of offensive schemes he could come
Oh,
up
you
with. 'Cause,
want
I mean, even that year with Baker had a great
Yeah.
year before when they went to the playoffs and everything. He
playoff
was
game.
really good, and they were scheming up some good stuff. Vic, any final thoughts
I was
on
gonna
Joe
say
Flacco?
Kevin Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
so and
Yeah,
that
no.
coaching staff's really good. The thing is like I think part of the reason why they went with Joe Flacco, and I'll keep this short, is because you need a veteran. You don't want to lose
Yeah.
those guys, those
Yeah.
veteran guys. And you
Yeah,
look at that schedule, guys. It is
Yeah,
rough
the
to
first-
start.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
why. Like I don't know. I know Gilbert wrote about Jaxson Dart taking over the Giants after or before Halloween. I could see the same thing with one of those kids, either Dylan Gabriel or Shadur Sanders. Kind of once you get through like the Halloween part of the schedule, I think you can see one of those two guys being inserted in there.
we won't for obviously purposes of keeping this going, let's mix in two stories together. One is I think Adam Schefter said on his podcast that, well, actually we'll mix three stories in together, that Micah Parsons and the Cowboys are headed for a divorce, whether it be this year or next year. He doesn't think that contract's going to get done from everything he's hearing. Trey Hendrickson, it sounds like they have the money ready to go. It's just the guarantees that he's looking for. So they have begun shopping him. I think it was the Panthers, the Patriots, and I can't remember what other team have shown interest. Oh, the Colts have shown interest in him. And then the third one is the Commanders. It came out that the Commanders are not going to pay Terry McLaurin the money that he is looking for. So, guys, which one of those three do you think is the most important to bring back? Which team needs to just bite the bullet, morderse un huevo, as they say, and give in to, because their team needs that player in there? Vic, why don't you start us off?
I'll say it's Trey Henderson, and I was listening to Albert Breer talking about this, and he said that I think part of it is that they don't want to break precedent, because they did it with Joe Burrow and they did it with Jamar Chase. They really didn't do it with T. Higgins. In a sense, it was more of T. Higgins took the hometown discount because he grew up a Bengals fan. And so they don't want to do it with Trey Hendrickson. And like you said, it's more of the guarantee money he wants. You know, he's put in, like, you know, he took a team-friendly deal because it happened after COVID, when he was leaving, when he was a free agent after being with the Saints. And then he played with them in terms of what they wanted to do with his contract. And he eventually thought that they would reward him. They didn't, and unfortunately, here we are. And at this point, if I'm Trey Hendrickson, like, he went and they try to get him a new contract with other teams. They tested it out. There wasn't much of a market for him. So if I'm him, you're just gonna have to bite the bullet and be with the Bengals. And if you saw that game yesterday, they really need him, because they're not going anywhere without Trey Hendrickson.
This one I'm really interested. Gilbert, which one of those three do you think is the one that needs to be there?
Yeah. Oh, Trey won't be my pick, but it like people say, oh, the only thing that's holding it up is the guaranteed money. That's like the most important thing. It's like the other stuff is like fake numbers to like look good for the agent and the player and the team. Like what are we doing here? So that tells me they're probably really far apart. And that's why I can't pick the Bengals in the playoffs. And a lot of people they all want to put the Bengals in the playoffs. No, their defense is gonna suck.
Their offensive line looked terrible too.
Yeah, that too. Red alarm there. They're the most overrated team for the last 2 years. But anyways, I think to me it's Scary Terry. Like he is by far their best wide receiver on the Commanders. It's not going to be Deebo Samuel, who, like, I don't know. I've seen the jokes about his physical appearance. He looks a little more huskier.
Stocky.
He's a T-bone away from playing tight end. I don't know. But regardless, he's going to be a gadget guy. He's going to be the Joker player. You need to have Scary Terry to be your number one perimeter option, move the ball down the field. And I get it. He's older, but he's also been very productive. And I understand. And when you're over 30, you're going to Father Time's going to get you. You don't want to pay these guys. So sometimes guys who are more about finesse. And I'm not going to take away from Scary Terry's athleticism, but he's a great route runner, great hands, knows how to find the ball. So small things like that, they extend your career. Just pay the guy. Like, you're finally building something good here in Washington. So honestly, I would like to say Micah Parsons, but like, I want to see him go. Like, just leave that freaking place and go somewhere else. But Scary Terry, keep him in Washington. You went all in this offseason. What are you doing now?
Senor Vive Moi, we will get to your question after Dan and I go, but we appreciate questions. If you guys have any other questions, obviously we are down to try and answer them to the best of our abilities for you guys. I will go next, and then I'll let Dan go first. Go, Dan. Is it Hendrickson?
So which one
Micah Parsons?
needs to keep him the most?
Yeah, which of those teams need to?
I'll be quick with it because Vic kind of hit everything. But Trey Hendrickson, 100%, dude. Like, you can't. Like, what are we even? What is it?
It's about the Rams. You're good.
Just confused me. All I see is something pop up. I don't have my seeing glasses on. But Trey Hendrickson, 100%, dude. Like, again, I said they probably made the worst roster move of the offseason by paying T. Higgins. And it's like, it's great if you can score 100 points, but if you allow 101, like, you're not going to win many games. And on top of that, Zach Taylor might be on the hot seat pretty soon if they miss another playoff run. So 100%, I think Trey Hendrickson, respect. What does that mean? No one cares about John Cena. He's the Rock's bitch, and we'll never know why. It doesn't matter. But 100%, I think it's Trey Hendrickson. Like, you have to keep that guy because you clearly didn't invest much on the defense. I think all their draft picks were defensive players. So, or if not the majority. So again, you're relying on 22, 23, 24-year-olds to go up against grown men who've been in the league for a while. So how do you think that's going to work out for you? Especially if you don't have a vet like Trey Hendrickson, especially when he leads. I'm pretty sure he's led the league in sacks, if not been in top 5, 2 seasons in a row, or the last 2 years in a row. So, obviously if they want to shop him, I've heard that Los Angeles is pretty good and there's beach and everything else, but don't go to that fake powder blue team over there with the Rams. Come over here to El Segundo and we'll be good to go. So
when you're not promoting a player to come to the Chargers, LA sucks, but when you want a player to come to LA, it's a beautiful paradise.
It does suck. But like, the thing you have to understand is I'm broke. These when they come out here, they're living it up. Like, they're good to go. You know what I mean? I'm sorry the USC sucks because Lincoln Riley can't figure it out. So that's the only thing unattractive, I guess. The Lakers suck because they just want to hand it all over to LeBron.
And I'll give you $10. I'll buy you a California burrito if you tell me who the head coach of UCLA football is.
Ooh.
Oh, you know what? Fuck. I feel like
the initials are D and F.
It was DeForest DeForest. No. I feel like it was a former
running back.
Yeah, it was a former player.
Deshaun Foster.
Oh, there you go. I knew it was a Deshaun
Buckner.
I knew I was
DeForest Buckner's where he was going with.
I don't remember. But you see what I'm saying?
The name sounds too similar.
That's why I'm gonna get it to him.
I knew it was a former player, and I knew that's where Anthony Lynn's son was, is a DC. So, damn it. So sorry, I missed out on that bet. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bring him to LA. Is that too much to ask? Eric wrote a nice little article. I saw 0 mentions of any of these people coming to Los Angeles. So something good happening for Dan Hendrickson.
He said the Chargers should trade for Trey Hendrickson. He's like, if you're going all in, why wouldn't you bring
You know what's funny? I look at our washing machine in the facility and I'm like, we kind of need that, but we also need a damn pass rusher. So I'll trade the washing machine.
They said they'll trade a daddy's princess for
I'll send him straight away. Indentured servitude. Send him over there.
I'm gonna show a guy in here some love that deserves some love. Micah. I think Micah is I think without Micah, that defense is gonna be really bad. Like, when I say
they
really
don't have
bad,
a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I think that defense without Mike is going to look even worse. Yeah, no, and I was there at the joint practice with the Rams and the Cowboys. The Cowboys on one side couldn't do anything on offense. They had one lucky throw down the field. I can't remember who, but that was basically it. On the other side, their defense couldn't stop the running game of the Rams. And that was Jimmy. Like, Jimmy G was the one, like, wheeling and dealing. I mean, I get it. When you have Devontae Adams, I mean, anything can happen in Puka Nacua. But By the way, that relationship is interesting. It seems like everybody's now more excited about Batman than they are about Robin, and I want to see how Robin's gonna take it. Because
Is Robin the one with a bunch of children, or
No.
or is it only one?
no, Batman is Devontae, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Luca's
yeah.
Robin.
No,
but I
no,
feel
no.
like
What was
the
his
other-
thing? What
the
was
other
his
way
thing? He had a crazy ex or something. No.
Robin?
Yeah, no. Buka. He had.
Oh yeah,
I saw
yeah.
something about
Allegedly.
a crazy ex. or-
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, yeah, she's not
You know the
locked up
full
in Arkham
story.
Asylum. Who knows? Allegedly.
But I think Micah Gilbert is going to be the guy that breaks the streak. I think everybody's kind of relaxed. They're like, Jerry will handle it. He'll do it. This, that. I think Micah. I don't think Micah is going to be one of those guys that relaxes and just does whatever Jerry does. They've been at times. Micah, I remember that day that we were there, or that I was there. He said, "Oh yeah, I didn't even know Micah was here. I have there's over 200 players here. I can't be focused on one." And Jerry and Micah were literally like in one friend group, and the other one was in the other friend group. So
You know what my wonder is about the Dallas Cowboy franchise? I wonder if it's going to get worse when Jerry goes. That's my real. I wonder what Steven's
better.
going to be able to do.
no, they're
Now.
gonna cryo freeze his brain, and he's gonna
Run the
he's
team
gonna
from the
make
grave.
decisions. Yeah, he's still gonna make decisions. Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
Did you guys see that clip from his new Netflix documentary where the one with Jerry talking to Kevin Dema from the Rams?
Oh, I have it. Vic, can you
Yeah.
take this off real
I
quick?
got you.
Watch this.
Maybe
Wow,
he's
look at
acting
that.
again.
I didn't even
Is
know
he
you had it.
acting?
Gilbert,
Exactly.
I got you.
He's going to do his acting.
Said it best in the press conference. He goes, "I'm tired of winning the season." He goes, "I want to win at the end of the season in the playoffs."
And I don't have the balls to put it all out there the way y'all did on that quarterback. I won't do that. Let's go up here where we can see that.
Oh my
basically,
God!
they were
What did he
talking
say?
about-
Yeah.
They're talking about the Matthew Stafford trade. He said,
Yeah.
"I saw that you guys had the balls to go out and
Yeah.
do that. I wouldn't have
don't.
had the balls to go out and make that trade."
What would you
So
admit that?
I know. He
They
said
won
he's
the
a
Super
eunuch
Bowl.
on TV.
it sounds really bad. Like
Even Dema was like, "What did you just say? Was that an
I
insult
know.
or like
I
I'm
know.
confused?"
But this is what I'm talking about. That looked like the biggest, forget my crudeness, circle jerk of morons that like you're just like, we're just here, we own a team, that's
the
awesome.
Steven
Like,
thing was so funny too. He's like, Jerry said he's tired of winning the headlines. He wants to win. It's like
Yeah.
they went on Cowboys Twitter and they said, "Okay,
Yeah.
let's disprove all this shit
yeah,
on the
yeah.
Netflix show," and it made him look even worse.
Oh, it's so
Like,
bad. I
I'm
think they're
just
so
trolling
out
the
of
people,
touch.
okay?
Exactly.
They're so out of touch. Like, this is almost reminds me, and Vic will be able to speak about this more, like how Al Davis was towards the end.
Yep.
And I just hope to God for the Cowboys franchise, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like Mark Davis ownership currently. So when the son takes over, because like in my mind, again, like the NFL in my mind either loses money or whatever when the Cowboys, the Raiders, and the Niners, and maybe the Steelers
Steelers.
are bad. Like those are like four of the probably biggest franchises in the league, arguably. And every year there's, well, I guess the Niners a little resurgence, but they're so bad. Like, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, let us.
Can I let me do
Yeah,
one
go ahead.
last thing here, and I'll just keep it quick. I'll keep it under a minute. So this
yeah.
whole Darrelle Revis has drawn interest from becoming the NFLPA's executive director. The only reason I want to bring this up, and I thought it was a little nugget from Albert Breer. So we don't have a date for that Super Bowl in Atlanta. And part of it is because they're trying to set up the whole 18-game season that, that Fernando was talking about earlier. Now, part of the problem is with the whole thing going on right now with the NFLPA right now, there's like, they need to hurry up, and at least from the NFL's point of view, they want them to hurry up and pick an executive director because they want to go and be able to negotiate the whole 18-game season thing.
Yeah.
And so part of the reason why there is, and the folks in Atlanta are pissed because they're waiting to hear from the NFL because the NFL told them, hey, block all of February because we don't, they're expecting to have an 18-game season by the time we get there. And so this whole holdup with the NFLPA is huge. So I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was a huge nugget. Because I went and I looked, there is no date. Like we have a date for LA, I think, and we have a date for the Bay Area Super Bowl, but we don't have a date for the Atlanta Super Bowl. So I thought, I guess we'll find out. Actually, no, we don't have a date for the LA Super Bowl either.
And don't worry,
Thought
for
the LA
Atlanta,
one
I
was
found
on-
a cool. Oh,
on-
don't worry. I was speaking first, but thank you. For Atlanta, I
answer the
have a
question.
cool Airbnb, so don't worry. I found a cool Airbnb.
You're ready.
out there. I'm
It'll
ready.
be in March at this rate, apparently, if we're going with week 18 games. But I thought LA was Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Yeah, I think you're
could be
right.
wrong.
I think you're right. So we do have an LA. Sorry. So so the Atlanta one is the one that has to have
Georgia.
George.
Tengo que ir a trabajar, my love. No es mi
Yeah, all right.
culpa.
Yeah, you
I
lonely people have
got-
to worry about that.
Georgia on my mind.
Vic, can you take this
Ariel,
off?
we got a few minutes here.
Yeah, I know. Connor Orr came out and he had he predicted all 272 regular season games. Gilbert, where do you want me to get started? Who do you want to see?
I'm trying to think. You know what? Like, we could start with the AFC East. I'm curious on his Patriots take.
Bills 12-15. He has them losing to Baltimore week 1, at Carolina week 8. That's a good one. He has them beating KC. They lose to Tampa. They lose to Cincinnati.
I don't want them to beat KC in the season. Can they do it in the playoffs, for God's sake?
New England 8-9. Gilbert. He has them
Wow.
beating the
Okay.
Raiders.
I don't know.
He has them losing at Miami. That's interesting.
I
I
don't
thought he
know
would be
about
higher
that.
on them.
I don't know.
Yeah,
about that. I'm
New
higher
York
on
Jets,
them.
7-10.
Wow. I'm shocked about that record right there.
He has
My
them losing 5
goodness.
in a
Could be
row.
Miami.
Wait till
My-
you guys see the NFC East.
He has the Dolphins
Yeah,
at 6
right.
and
That's
11.
accurate.
Yeah,
That's spot on.
I agree. Yeah.
I would think the
All
Jets
right.
would be worse than Miami, though, but I don't know.
Let us go now to the AFC North. He has the Baltimore Ravens at 12-5,
Yeah.
losing at KC, losing at Minnesota, losing at Cincinnati, at Green Bay, and at Pittsburgh. So basically, if you get them on the road, you're going to beat them. Is essentially that. Which everybody's really hyping up Baltimore, and I know I chose them as one of my teams to have wins, but I don't know. There's something about them that I still don't completely buy. The Bengals, he has a 10-7 and making the playoffs.
Most overrated team in the league.
He has them starting off 1-4, and then
Oh, damn.
Getting hot.
they
That's
go off.
usually what they do, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, they start
But
off slow.
I don't think they're going to be able to.
Overcome.
Well, yeah.
I think-
Steelers 9-8. He has them starting off 0-3.
Wow,
To
but the
start
streak's
the
alive.
season.
Look at that.
That's crazy. All right, the Cleveland Browns 2-15 has them beating Cincinnati, which I could see that,
Oh.
and then beating Tennessee, and that's basically it. All right, let us go now to the AFC South. The Texans 10-7. He has
Let's just
them.
move on.
Okay,
Just-
Colts
That's
9-8.
That's too high. That's too high.
Jacksonville 7-10. and
Wow,
the
they're
Tennessee
getting more
Titans.
wins than out. Wow, they're hating.
That's
He's
right.
hating on my boys in Nashville. That's crazy.
Dan, Gilbert, give it to us. What
That-
is this division?
snooze
The
fest.
AFC West, the best division in football, or what? No. No.
All right,
this one, the
Nashville.
South. Oh, that's don't wake me up. You're in a coma. If you're in
All
this.
right, AFC West, Dan. Kansas
Oh, I
City
already
Chiefs 11-6.
They trade with
Oh.
us. Yeah, they trade
has
with us.
them-
Okay.
He has them losing in Brazil against the
I need to
Chargers.
get out of here. He's gonna get pissed off right now.
At the Giants, Detroit, at Dallas, at Buffalo, and at Tennessee. Wow, that's an interesting loss to take. All right, Denver Broncos 10-7.
Oh, that's bullshit. So where did I don't care. Scoot down. Let's see where I'm at.
He has
Oh,
them
okay.
making.
Oh, it's tight.
Yeah,
Okay,
he has
no,
them making
no,
the
no.
playoffs.
Tell Connor I need 11. Tell him to find me one more
But
game
hold
so I can
on.
win my bet.
So Connor says in his paragraph that he regrets one thing, and it's that he has Denver beating the Chargers twice. He doesn't think that's going to happen.
Twice.
So-
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
Listen,
They
basically,
might split.
Yep.
yeah, they'll probably split. That means,
No,
Dan, give yourself
no.
another victory, and you're tied with KC for the division.
I will. I will. I will. And I'll
All
win
right.
my bet.
The-
More importantly, I got a dinner and some beers on the line. And
Raiders-
there's another
better.
bet. There's
8-9.
another bet staring me in
mediocre
the
side
face.
cooking.
Yep.
All right,
Wow.
let us.
So Eric would
so
owe
Dan,
me
he
some
said,
pizza.
I have the Chargers finishing in third place, but still making the playoffs. I toyed with the version of this prediction matrix that had the Chargers winning the division, which doesn't sound so far-fetched when you remember that Jim Harbaugh took a really bad team in the to the playoffs in 2024. The roster continues to churn and get better. This offense is going to be more stable, even without Rashawn Slater, but is backed by Joe Alt, who's moving to left tackle, and then the experience of Trey Pipkins to the right side. Outside of getting swept by the Broncos, I don't see happening the more I think about it. I feel like this is a pretty agreeable breakdown with LA winning games they're supposed to win and failing only because of teams that have over an advantage defensively. And yes, once again, the Raiders just because. So there you go. He questions two of them. All right, NFC East, the Eagles 10-7.
Wow.
Yep.
Dan, I
Falling
don't think
off
this is
there.
going to happen. Losing at KC, that's not going to happen, right, Dan?
Well, who knows? Who cares? It doesn't really matter. They beat them in the Super Bowl. That's all I care. The
Have
Eagle
them-
franchise will forever go down as one of my favorite because they stopped the three-peat. The back-to-back was bad enough to watch, and the Niners forever will be on my shit list because they just wanted to bend over and give it up to them. So
Hurry up, let's go.
All right. Let's see. He has them losing to the Rams in Philly, and then he has them losing at Tampa Bay. So 10-7. The Commanders 10-7. Gilberto's Commanders at 10-7.
wow.
But they go through a losing streak at Dallas, at KC,
come
against
on.
Seattle.
If they
Two,
lose to
three
Dallas,
losing
he's gonna have a
three games.
stroke.
Then they go on another losing streak at Minnesota, at Giants, and Philly. And he has them losing at Philly, like somebody said last year would happen if they got another crack at Philly.
But
Dallas
not an
Cowboys
NFC title game. You did not see that
sure.
happen.
They
and
laughed
then
at
they got
you,
free.
Frown. They laughed at you.
9-8
That's
for
a
the
lot
Dallas
of wins.
Cowboys.
That's a lot of wins for me.
He has them starting off on a 3-game losing streak and then
Oh.
picking it up. Let's see. He has them losing to the Chargers though, Dan.
Of course.
The Giants 6-11. Let's move on real
The
quick.
Giants have a better roster than the Raiders, but not a better record. Let's not
NFC
forget.
North.
Not a lot of
10-7
wins.
for the
Not
Lions.
a lot of wins this season, apparently.
At Green Bay, Chicago, and at Baltimore.
They're not
a
going to lose
3-game
to
losing streak.
Chicago.
And they get hot and win 10 out of the last 14. So that's a good little measuring stick for them. All right, Minnesota Vikings 10-7
Oh,
with
wow.
JJ McCarthy. He has Dan's Chargers losing to the Vikings week 8.
Sorry.
That's interesting.
No.
Green Bay Packers 9-8. Somebody's not going to be happy about this one, Dan.
You need to screenshot this and send it. This is glorious.
9-8 for the
Looks
Green
like
Bay
he was
Packers.
worried about his nails and threading his eyebrows, that coach
Wow.
over there.
Damn,
Chicago
that's like
Bears 7-10.
That's too many
He has
wins
them.
for me.
Oh wow,
7-game
He has
losing
them
streak.
a 7-game losing at Baltimore, at Cincinnati, Giant. Oh wow,
Jeez.
to the Giants, at Minnesota,
All
Pittsburgh.
right, I gotta
at
go, guys. So
Philly,
let's go.
At
All
Green Bay. All right,
Call the chopper. Call
Tampa
the
Bay
chopper.
Buccaneers
Or
12
you
and
guys can
15.
stick around. I'll just go.
Wow.
Falcons
Wow.
9-8.
Wow.
Carolina Panthers 6-11. The Saints
Wow.
3-14. That is what Connor Orr. Here we go. San Francisco 49ers. My 49ers 11-6.
Wow.
Rams 10-7.
Wow.
Seattle
49ers.
9-8. And Arizona 6-11.
Oh my
And
goodness.
those are Connor Orr. Oh, here we go. Here's the seedings. Baltimore number 1, Buffalo 2,
also
Chiefs
Tampa really
3. Dan,
coming
that
out,
means
huh?
you would play at Buffalo. To
I'm not
start
He
out
only
worried.
the
has
playoffs.
he only has one team that didn't make the playoffs from the
Yeah.
year before making
Yeah, I
it.
don't like
I'm-
that.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on that right now, to be honest.
No,
I
there's
don't
yes
have,
two Bengals and 49ers,
yeah.
but still.
Bengals and
very little.
49ers too.
Does he go in depth? No. That's look at that. That Connor Orr.
That's my guy. I like that guy.
Gilbert, we need to get Connor Orr back on the show before the
Yeah.
season starts.
He's
To
calling the
He won't like
chopper.
my NFC West standings though with my predictions.
he didn't like it.
No, he won't. He won't when I tell
Oh,
him mine.
okay.
But yeah.
All right, Gilbert. Well, we'll let you go. We'll finish up the show really quick. with
Can
some
I
fun
just
stuff.
add one thing? And I want to
Yeah.
give a shout out to Gilbert. Go check out his work. I was listening to that podcast with Albert Breer and Connor Orr, and he brought up Gilbert Manzano, and he was saying that
Which one?
that
Albert
they-
Breer
that
or Connor
get-
Orr?
Yeah, that they're getting the predictions going. They were setting that up, and that you guys gave him shit because he picked Joe Burrow to win the MVP for a third straight year. So shout out to you, Gilbert, for giving him.
Oh yeah, he's in a rush, but he'll stick around to get a shout out. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right, fellas. You guys gonna stick around then?
Yeah, we'll stick around.
Now he has to run off.
This is now the Dan and Dago show.
Have fun in your living room. It looks great.
This is now the Dan and Dago show.
Yeah, right. Get me off the big screen.
Hold on.
What else do we have?
There we go. No,
Did
I mess this up? There we go.
No, we're good. I don't know. They're just the Foursquare.
Hold on.
The Foursquare. Yeah.
Just
there we go.
Because we got to get rolling over here.
Yeah, no. Just last few things. Just wanted to throw some funny stuff. Vic, can you take this off? Sorry,
of course.
I just did
got
that.
You.
Okay, this is also from the Jerry Jones or the Cowboys documentary. Listen to Tony Romo.
Oh no.
More than 25,000 signed a petition to have Jones removed as owner. You want to blame Jerry for those things? It's hard for me to ever think that. Those teams were good.
So he basically said, you guys want to blame Jerry for that. It's not on Jerry. It's on us. Like he basically said, we've never had a moment where we basically he said we are the ones that have messed up and haven't made the plays or anything like that. So Vic, you can keep it off. I'm gonna go real quick.
I think
what Tony had to say.
I was gonna say the only time I really think they did get screwed was against Green Bay in the the divisional or the NFC Championship.
It should have been a catch.
Yeah, that's a catch.
That 100% was a catch and fumble. Like,
yeah,
but this goes back to the NFL not knowing their ass from their mouth or anything else. Like they have no idea what a catch is, what a this. That's why to me it's always so stupid. Like, but I mean, that's the only time I can think about that they got screwed. But other than that, I mean, they've kind of put together some pretty bad teams. Like, and on top of that, I thought their best chance was the year Dak's rookie year. And they made the mistake of taking the ball out of Zeke's hands and giving it to Dak, and he was throwing, and that's why Green Bay had a chance to come back and win. Like, so
any thoughts, Vic?
No, he's right. I mean, I thought that was their best chance was when they went up against Green Bay.
They were so stacked.
They could not. I think they were like scoring 30 points a game or something crazy.
Was that the year of the Steelers? The Giants Steelers. That was the year, right? Giants Steelers Super Bowl. Green
Bay Steelers.
Green Bay. That was Green Bay. Yeah, that was the Green Bay.
Yeah, because Steelers. Green Bay was a wild card team that won the Super Bowl.
I don't think so. That's 2010. Dak didn't come in 2010.
That was the NFC Championship.
No,
I think you're right. I think I'm.
You're talking about the catch then.
Yeah, that was Tony Romo still.
Obviously. I'm talking.
Tony.
Yeah, that was their best chance. But I'm talking about also they had a good opportunity. Dak's rookie year,
right?
Like, when they were unstoppable. Like,
which to me, the whole awards thing is such a joke because Zeke Elliott should have won Rookie of the Year and they gave it to Dak that year.
Oh yeah,
and then there was the Josh Jacobs year with what's his name, the little guy from Arizona, Kyler Murray won the Rookie of the Year, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Guys,
we're 13-3 and won the NFC.
Breaking news for Charger fans: Mekhi Becton is back at practice, according to Chris Rim.
God.
So there you go. Signor Vivement, mon ami. You asked, and Dan will answer. Dan.
I saw that also. I saw that
do
clip.
You feel like the Bengals O-line took some shit yesterday because Burrow held the ball for an absurd amount of time? If I was the O-line coach, I would be pissed. Dan, this is the play that they're basically talking about that everybody kind of saw. Dan, watch this.
Yeah, Matt, I'm gonna get to that next, Matt. Yeah,
Look
exactly.
This,
he's already at the top of his drop. Like,
right away at that.
I don't know if he thinks he's Lamar Jackson all of a sudden, like.
And look, he takes three guys dogpile him.
But that's the problem too. Whereas when you're a play caller, and again, I've never done it, so don't try and kill me if I say the wrong thing or whatever. But you have to try and call plays knowing your personnel. If you can't get a lot of protection for dropbacks, then it's got to either be quick game or you keep guys in to block to make bigger edges and hopefully get more double teams. But it's like you have to know what you're doing. Or sorry, I don't want to say that. Obviously, they know what they're doing. They're pros, but you have to try and call plays to the strengths of your team and the weaknesses of the defense. So 100% Senor Vivant, those are the people who don't understand the game, who just watch it out of love, which is nothing wrong with it, right? But don't try and tell us what I love when either reporters or people on Twitter start roasting people. And I'm like, dude, you don't know what the assignment was. You don't know if that was a quick game and it was covered or whatever. Because as you know, Senor Vivant, when you're at the top of your drop as a quarterback, the clock starts ticking. And either you got to get rid of the damn thing or you found an open receiver and let's go, or you're going to run. But you can't stay back there. There was actually a funny quote when my high school offensive coordinator said that I won't repeat now because it's ungentlemanly, but it was actually pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, so 100% Senor Meanwhile, you know about that. And no, I did not forget, Matt. The Rashee Rice thing to me is crazy that they're going to allow him to play, if I understand this correctly, even though he has a pending trial. Like, that to me is just further evidence of like my conspiracies about the Chiefs. But I mean, what the hell do I know?
The Chiefs have a very tough schedule to start. The first 5
good.
Very rough. So according to, because everybody's freaked out or is saying something, because not only Charger fans but even fans of the NFL, Vikings fans are very aggressively.
I was going to bring Jordan Addison.
Yeah, they're like Jordan
3 games.
Yeah, he got suspended right away the 3 games. Why are they waiting for Rashee Rice? So a lot of people think it's because of this. Now, I think Breer said on Ian's show that, on Rich Eisen's show, that they could come to an agreement. And if they came to an agreement, the NFL and the NFLPA on this, that it could happen and he would be suspended for the first 5 games. But a lot of people are saying that it could be half of the season where he's going to be suspended. So, but that they're trying to see what it's going to be. They're saying 8 to 10 games, but they're trying to bring it down. I think you should be suspended for the beginning of the season. Like everybody usually gets suspended.
If you're pending investigation and trial, what are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Like clearly that's a pretty serious,
and there's video evidence of him and his buddies getting out of the car and walking away. They all left.
Yeah.
So
my question is, are you saying that his people, like Rashee Rice people, are appealing this, and then that, like, whatever they're trying to give him, and so that's why it's kind of being.
That's what Albert said, is that they're gonna appeal this, and that the NFL and the NFLPA are trying to come to an accord. Now that they saw, I think, the mess on social media, they're trying to come up with an accord to maybe they suspend him the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season. But according to what I read, it's gonna be like 8 to 12 games is what they're thinking about suspending him, because that's a pretty aggressive video. And the mom and the kid were in the hospital. They still haven't said yet if they're going to sue Rashee Rice or not yet. So there's a lot there. So I definitely
and there's not just Charger fans. It's like the whole NFL, as you said. I mean, that looks really bad. Like, especially when you look at what Jordan Addison did compared to him. Like, and like everybody's kind of been like mum about it. Like they're trying not to bite their tongue here, but at the same time, like, I understand where Charger fans are coming from, and so is the rest of the league.
Exactly. Real quick, just last 3 things, and then we'll head out. Is Jalen Ramsey already saying that he wants to smoke with Jamar Chase? Speaking of being on the smoke,
I can't wait to see that.
From Cincinnati roll up here then, because he the one too.
Mm-hmm.
What's the conversation gonna be that week?
That's me. That's Jay. That's 5 for now. That's 5. Joey, I'm gonna give you. I know that's what Joey wants as well, and he gonna get his ops, but that's 5 right now. That's 5.
What number?
I love Jalen Ramsey for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
No, I just think, I mean, Jalen is not afraid to call, and that's what, like, when I talk to Derwin, Derwin's always
Yeah,
like,
it
I
makes
love
it more
that.
entertaining. Yeah.
He's just so brash about it,
Yeah.
and he'll say, "Yeah, that's my guy." So
Yeah.
I actually like that. I don't think that's gonna end up being the game plan, if we're being completely honest.
I hope we see
Um,
another what's his name? What's the guys who hate each other? Mike Evans. Oh, Marshawn
and
Lattimore.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, I hope we get to
Even
see
before that, it
again.
was Andre Johnson in the corner from the
Finnegan.
Giants.
Finnegan.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
I love that.
Which I get so annoyed when they try and like clutch their pearls because they see that, like, dude, come on, it's a man's game. Like, they're gonna get amped up. They're gonna fight people they don't like. Like, obviously, you try and minimize that to keep the game going, but still,
Coach
when you see that-
Orgeron, everybody knows him. I actually got to meet him once.
still
while I
alive?
was in Indiana. I know, right? I loved listening to him. He's awesome. He spoke about who's one college quarterback he's excited to watch, and you guys won't guess who he said.
Going into this college football season, if you were coaching a team and I was like, hey, you get any player you want, what quarterback would you want to be coaching?
Archibald,
Yeah, he's the real deal.
no doubt.
What makes you say that?
You know, I had an opportunity to go to Texas and speak to the clinic, and speak at their clinic, and I watched practice. Now, we knew Arch Manning as a young kid from Louisiana. He liked Joe Brady. We watched him, but I watched his practice, and I'll say this conservatively, okay? And Garrett, we recruited Garrett. Garrett's a great player. You know, it's not, you know, they got some great quarterback here, but Arch is as close to, or maybe as good as Joe as I've seen.
Really?
And I've never said that about anybody.
Yeah.
wow,
You know what I
praise.
hated that I didn't bring up? There's a conspiracy theory from Colts fans that they think that the Colts are gonna throw this season to try and get Arch, but we all know Arch isn't coming out, so I'm kind of like, I don't think, because his grandpa basically already came out and confirmed,
Yep.
and you know, it's like those are the old school like families where the grandfather's the head of the table, everybody else listens to the grandfather and everything. So, but yeah, exactly.
Tribal chief,
Just,
baby.
what
Bloodline.
Vic, is it overhype or I'm excited?
I-
We get week 1, Texas at Ohio State, Julian Sand from Carlsbad High School here in San Diego against Arch Manning. That's why WWE moved Clash in Paris to a Sunday. They did not want to clash against Arch Manning versus
What time's that game at? Do you know?
It's
I'll
a
tell you right
noon. I think it's a noon, so it's at 9
Okay,
a.m. in
good.
the West Coast.
So that's why
shit.
that's why they didn't want to clash, Dan, because the Clash in Paris starts at 9
Yeah,
a.m.
but 9 a.m. on the West Coast.
Sunday.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
know.
Go
I'm
ahead,
with
Vic.
you, Dan. I wish it was a prime time game, and I
Yeah.
don't understand why they didn't put it. But yeah, like I'm excited for college football. I usually don't watch just because, you know, like especially the last 3 years we've been kind of focused on this channel. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think now with as we get more into the NFL, you know, we'll be able to watch a little bit more on Saturday. So I'm excited for this, and I want to see where he ends up, because also you kind of want to look at the quarterback crop. There's a lot of dudes out there. There's a kid from South Carolina that everybody keeps saying that is going to be the best quarterback that's going to come out. And then the last thing I'll say about this too is, like, I keep seeing memes about the Saints because, you know, going off that quote that you said about Archie Manning, that there was people saying, "Oh, we can play that game. We'll suck for 2 years, but we're getting one of the Mannings. It doesn't matter. Like, he's coming home." So
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. They're like, "We'll wait 2 years for him. It
I
doesn't
think-
matter. We can play that game." So I
I
thought that
think
was funny.
if Jerry Jones trades Micah Parsons next offseason, I think it'll be for a pick, for one or multiple first round picks, so that he could trade those and move up to number 1 and get Arch Manning in a Cowboys helmet with CeeDee Lamb still signed up. Maybe George Pickens also signed up. He'd come into a great situation. Now, who the head coach would be, who knows? But I could see Jerry Jones totally, before he obviously kicks the bucket.
Let me
trying to
ask
make,
you guys this. This is just me kind of, you know, galaxy brain here. But if it becomes so like the hype gets so big for Arch Manning, to the point where, like, you have the teams, you know, kind of trying to lose, do you see that they finally institute a lottery system because they don't
No.
want have the league, you know, tanking for Arch Manning?
I mean, I just don't think they want it because they're like, well, people already think that we fix it for the Chiefs and we
Super
do all
Bowl,
this other
yeah.
stuff. Why add more?
Yeah.
And because I mean,
That's-
everybody thinks that the draft with Patrick Ewing was rigged. There's two other the one this year with
Lakers
Cooper
or
Flag and everything. So there's a lot of people that think that. So I don't think they would do it, but I do think that they're gonna try and do something so that where teams are competitive. So I do agree with that. But real quick, Dan, are you excited for Arch Manning? Are you going to be watching him this year?
100%. I can't wait.
Go. Last thing, Dan, I know you've been wanting this. We have a mic'd up from North Carolina.
Oh God.
Let's see if
I forgot about this.
Eyes up. Plant off the inside of your outside foot. You see that guy there? Don't worry about the linebackers. If they don't tell you anything, don't worry. You take care of yourself. You handle the C gap. And when you're down in here, okay, and he can come down and smash you and go up to the next level. All right, let's go. Inside out now. Right? We got to get the inside guy. We got to get the inside guy. Punch him. Bob. Punt! 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 Great job. That's it. Great job. 1st and 20. Signal on the out. Great.
Yes, sir.
2nd and 9. Back on track. Good.
Yes, sir.
That's a really good decision.
Yes, sir.
You three got these two. You got it?
Yes, sir.
You can't line up out here on him because he's going to be in the C gap. You're right there. Okay? So narrow down your stance and 3-on-2 or 2-on-1 these two guys. Great job. We're going fast to keep them from substituting. We're going fast to put the pressure on the defense, but we're not going as fast as we can go like there's no time left on the clock. All right. It's no huddle. It's not 2 minutes. All right, here we go. Turn and chase the ball. Turn and run. Turn and run. Nice shot. I'm trying to keep him from punching with that outside on.
I wish they had
Finally, some content that I'm actually excited to see coming out of there. No more Insta faces and stupid pictures on the beach. Get back. That's a team I'm really excited to watch. Honestly, I'm gonna have to find out how I can watch most of their games because I do want to see how he does out there.
I think they're on
Jordan
the
Hudson. What? I don't want to watch this.
Exactly. Get her out of here, dude. Dude, there's plenty. There's plenty of adult ballet people you could get who are better, more hotter, and less of a.
He's gonna be an interesting this year for the Hall of Fame. He's gonna be an interesting. I think he's gonna go in right away, but I'm sure in that Hall of Fame room there's gonna be conversations about that girlfriend, the this, the that.
Oh no, you can't.
I agree.
Yeah. Like first ballot, you need to get rid of the whole thing.
Marshawn should be in the Hall of Fame, but they're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame because the media didn't like him.
I was thinking about this because I started thinking about Pete Carroll and the fact that he came back to coaching and he's with the Raiders. Like after a certain age, like if you hit 70, you should be eligible for the Hall of Fame.
I completely agree.
Why are you like? Is Pete Carroll like gonna get his flowers? Like, does he have to wait 5 years again? Like, I don't understand.
I completely agree. Have them go in just in case. Yeah, no, I agree with you 1000%. Again, guys, what a great show. I know we did it very early, but I thought a lot of good movement, a lot of good. Dan, you did really well with that crossing route. Good job.
Shout out.
Hey, Gilbert had to get up early, Dan.
I know. We got to keep him on his toes. That's the problem. He gets into a habit and then he just kind of.
Joe, my God. He just Joe is on one. But again, thank you guys so much. This was awesome. An early edition of Compas on the Beat. Thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you to the Joe Morley, Angel, Senor Vivemont, DJ. Jeffrey, Robert D, JK47, Jorge, thank you, Jorge, Brian, Xavier Flores, all you guys for jumping on Gerardo. Thank you guys so much. This was a great show. Happy Gilmore, there he is.
Shout out.
Hey, we love number 2.
Shout out.
I know a lot of people were shitting on it, but I actually thought it was a decent. I mean, what did they expect it to be as good as number 1? Well, obviously that wasn't going to be it. It was what number 1 wanted to be, a bunch of cameos, a bunch of famous people in it. They didn't have the budget for it. Now they do. So obviously we're on that. But again, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week. And then 2 weeks from now, it'll be the Carne Asada with the Compas. I think it'll be the Tuesday before the season starts. I know that
so the day
Thursday
after the day after Labor Day.
I think
Oh, I
the
need
day
to
after
get my
Labor Day, because I
whiteboard.
think it's going to be Cowboys,
Eagles on Thursday.
Eagles, Chargers, and Chiefs in Brazil, and then the Sunday night game is Baltimore and Buffalo. So a lot of good stuff coming up. We're excited about the season. We'll let you guys know probably next week or the carne asada. The carne asada, I think, what our schedule is going to be like. But again, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. For Gilbert, for Dan, and for Vic. Thank you guys so much. Dan, get us out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's have Dan do it.
Be a compa, tell a compa, like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to you all. Don't forget, we'll never find out why the Rock or